All right, so we're gonna watch a video by Russell Brand. Russell Brand's really been on it these past few years. Um, it's an amazing thing to watch him kind of like just change throughout the years. From his days in Hollywood to now, where he is just really seeking the truth in like more ways than just the financial status engine machine of Hollywood and entertainment. So it's really cool to see him start his own YouTube channel and really provide information with no bias other than really to seek the truth, but with an intention of using it for the betterment of himself and for everyone that joins in and listens. It's a really good thing to see. So let's watch this one. It's called Watch Joe Rogan's Incredibly Powerful Warning That No Politician Will Admit. Let's see.
One of the reasons that I find this ever-encroaching globalism so disappointing, this slow and insidious march to centralized authoritarianism, is it's possible to live in a different world. It needn't be like this. There are simple alternatives that are not that radical. Things like, I don't know, representative democracy. I don't know, things like people being able to run their own communities and run their own lives and family and support. There is a solution. There is a way out of this. Here's Joe Rogan talking about the kind of solution I think many of us believe in. And I'll be honest with you, one of the reasons it caught my eye is because, well, I'm in it. Here it is.
If you want to maintain that, the number one thing you have to prevent is a broad alliance and a willingness of people to accept their differences. As long as you've got people willing to kill each other, whether it's online or in person, over cultural values, rather than accept, I'm willing to accept that that's how you live, as long as you accept that's how I live.
Exactly.
Then it's over.
As long as you can keep people at each other's throats, then you can continue to manipulate them. Then it's an easy chess game. And we get caught up in these ideological battles, and all the while they're inching us closer to nuclear war, pushing dangerous pharmaceutical drugs into our lives, and establishing narratives that are not based on fact at all. Next thing you know, we have something that's very similar to what's going on in China. We're not that far away from something like that happening here. All it would take is a large disaster, some sort of an attack, some sort of a terrible scenario where a bunch of people died and they had to change the rules in order to protect us. And next thing you know, you're fucked. As soon as people come together and they realize, like, hey, we have way more in common than we do difference. What do we really want? Everyone wants a safe neighborhood. You want good education. You want healthy food. You want people to be able to pursue their dreams. You want people to have a good time, and the more people you're around that have a good time, the better the quality of your life is going to be as well. The better the quality of life in your entire neighborhood. And if you have this mentality of great fortune and not a famine mentality, not have this mentality that all the success has to come to me and all these other people can go fuck themselves. If instead you go, wouldn't it be better if we all just did our best to work together as a community and just accept people for their differences and recognize that most of these differences are kind of bullshit. I don't give a fuck what music you like, what movies you enjoy, or how you like to dress. I don't care. If you think about your own life and your own pursuit of happiness and your own interests and concentrate on that more than you do stopping people from behaving in a way that you're ideologically opposed to, and that ideology, you're probably being manipulated in some way, shape, or form. It's so obvious to see how it's being set up, and the only way we're going to get out of this is if we, the collective, all of us, recognize this stupid game that people are playing.
Seems that there is an opportunity for us to oppose the peculiar bureaucracies that are accruing incredible power, bypassing democracy, bypassing individual sovereignty, bypassing your right to spiritual and intellectual and cultural freedom and religious freedom and freedom to be whoever you want to be as long as you're not hurting other people. And when people garner audiences of significant sizes and convey that message, those people mysteriously become aggressively criminalized by centralized systems of authority, whether they are media or state or corporate, but best of all three, because as your great George Carlin says, where there is a convergence of interest.
You don't need a formal conspiracy.
Right.
When interests converge, these people went to the same universities and fraternities, they're on the same boards of directors, they're in the same country clubs, they have like interests, they don't need to call a meeting, they know what's good for them.
No conspiracies are necessary. As your great Bill Hicks said, this is just a ride.
And when you choose to go on it, you think it's real, because that's how powerful our minds are. And the ride goes up and down and round and round. It has thrills and chills, and it's very brightly colored, and it's very loud. And it's fun for a while.
And when people awaken during the ride and tell us don't be afraid ever, it's just a ride, we kill those people. It's become increasingly plain that there is an offering available to us where simple community organization, accessible, easy trade, the ability to untether ourselves from these unelected yet publicly funded organizations might be the pathway to freedom that we want, that it needn't be that radical. Why don't we all dress this way? Our community dresses in these clothes. Well, I only want to be a member of a community if they wear tiny little huckleberry fin hats. That's not a revolution that I want to be a part of. It needn't involve conflict. It needn't involve aspiring for perfection. It can be as simple as allowing other people to be who they are and recognizing when you're being lied to, and you're being lied to a hell of a lot. We all are. And when you awaken, recognize you will be persecuted for that fact. But that's okay, because we have each other and we can continue to grow together. But that's just what I think. Let me know what you think in the comments and chat. Hey, this is all about you, baby. We do this stuff all the time. We need you with us.
Hey, this is exciting. We've got a great partner today. It's Rumble, but beyond
Okay.
Rumble.
Okay. Yeah. No. Yeah, some good points in that. One point about authority. You know, there's a lot of people called government officials that, I mean, it's a mindset. When you think about it, top of the food chain, if people at the top of the food chain end up getting talked down to, dismissed, looked at as not as important as they think they are, then that's upsetting, and that's not that doesn't make them feel good about their identity. Think about somebody who spent their entire life trying to get in this position. You know, we were all kids at one point. We all realize how important the political elected position is. Think about people who get there. You know, they don't. You know, you spent your whole life trying to get to this position, and now you're being told that we're not going to listen to you. Of course, you're not going to like that. So, yeah, you gotta. Anybody in authority position has to hold that authority, because it becomes a part of your identity. Right? And if you're not, if you don't really care about other people, well then you subject them. And you keep some type of subjectification. I don't know. You keep the feeling that you are more important, you have more authority, you are more intelligent, you are more capable of telling people what to do, and they should listen to you. And if you don't, well, there's going to be punishment, because punishment validates my position of authority. Thank you very much. Yeah, and so, the other thing that Russell said, when you quote-unquote awaken, kind of come to that realization, and then you start living in such a way, you will be persecuted. Yeah, of course. Yeah. I mean, that's the whole Christian history. It's the history of the martyr. Why has Christianity been persecuted in every culture, and you can always trace it back to not going along with certain government protocols, government beliefs, government regulations, and the government saying, whoa, 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 whoa. We're the authority. Okay? Not your Jesus guy. Not your God. No, no. We are. Thank you. Okay? Now, if you don't listen, we're going to do this to you. Okay? You're welcome. That's it. And guess what? When we do that to you, everybody else is going to follow in line because then they don't want that to happen to them. Well, it's something I understood when I was younger is you've got to be willing to die for the things that you care the most about. And a lot of people never consider what they'll die for. And that that changes everything. That's a very important question that you need to ask yourself and that you need to answer. And you need to have the right answer. Because that will dictate how you act and how you respond to everything else in your life. And you saw a lot of that during the pandemic. A lot of people stood their ground and were persecuted. Persecuted by people who their entire identity is based on supporting the marginalized, the minority groups, the underrepresented, the people of opposing viewpoints, the people who are different, who think differently. And yet, when their party told them, hey guys, that group, we're all going to make fun of. We're all going to ostracize. We're all going to cast out of our society, shame, guilt. That's what we're going to do. Everybody just went with it. They didn't think for themselves. They didn't really ask themselves, well, hold on, well, maybe they're just like the other kinds of marginalized people and people who think differently. Nope, not them. Sorry. And what's funny? It's like, hate it or not, or I don't care if you want to accept the truth here, but the only group in America that you can make fun of, that you can desire their the worst case scenario for, talk about wanting them to die, is a white, Southern, straight, conservative Christian. That's the only group in America that you can just beat on, talk shit about, and you'll never lose your job. You'll never be, You'll probably get more jobs. You'll definitely keep your job. You're not getting fired for that. That's horrible. That's horrible. And it's an interesting thing. If you just want to think about it. If you don't agree with what I'm saying, that's cool. But look into it. Make fun of somebody else. Make fun of somebody else. Make fun of another group. See what happens. You can make fun of those people, and it's okay. What does that tell you about what our society's become, where we've gotten? Just think about it. I mean, obviously, if you're watching this, you probably have seen that. You're like, oh yeah, dude, Cody's talking the truth here. I mean, I'm not some genius. I just keep up with shit. And I live in Los Angeles. So, I'm inundated with it every day. I see these people who are my friends. And they have the same viewpoint. And they don't understand why that. What's wrong with that? You should be able to make fun of them people. Okay. Right. Uh-huh. Based on what? Everybody's got a scapegoat. You got to remember this. Everybody has a scapegoat so that they can be the worst version of themselves, right? And during the shutdown, during the pandemic, the Democratic Party, fueled by the mainstream media and social media companies, were allowed one scapegoat, right? And it was the person who did not want to get jabbed. You could talk about them however you wanted. You could treat them however you wanted, and it's justified because they're bringing us down, right? And obviously, it's also the quote-unquote MAGA supporter. The MAGA supporter. Not really a person anymore, it's just a MAGA supporter. So, it's not good. It's not good when you have authority figures on the news, in media, speaking in a way in which, they feel they act justified in doing so, and then also in promoting and telling others to treat certain people as less than. But then a gay person walks in, like, oh my God, you're so amazing. I'm in awe of you every day. I just look at you and I'm just like, oh my God, you're just so unique. You're just being yourself. And I love it. I love you being you. You're so different than me. It's so unique. I love it. But those other people that are different than me and think differently than me and do different things than me, I hate them. And you hate them too, right? Cool. We get to hate them together, right? It's cool, right? They should be hated, right? Yeah, not good. Not healthy. Not good. And if you are like that, do not speak to me about any type of spiritual growth. Do not speak to me about your relationship with God. Because somebody needs work on theirs. Okay? You cannot be treating a whole group of people without love and without grace and say that you been working on your spiritual life. I meditate twice a day, transcendental meditation. Twice a day, 20 minutes each, Clears my mind, allows me to focus on what's really important in life, my family, the marginalized. But not those goddamn unjabbed, conservative, southern straight people. White. And they're white. Makes them worse. We should just do something about them. Get rid of them. That's cool. That's a very heartfelt thought you just put out in the world. I gotta sit in that for a second. Yeah. Love everybody but them. Yeah, you treat everybody else with respect and honor, but not those. Oh yeah. You get one out. You get one outlet, okay? You can put your anger and your hate towards one, put all your fear towards one group. Yeah, that's okay. That's healthy. Yeah. I think people have done that in the past. I don't think it's turned out well. But I'm an idiot. What do I know? Have a good day.